Good evening. Welcome to the show presented by Kala in association with Let's Talk. Now, what's Let's Talk? We have somehow, somewhere along the way, lost the sense of communication of conversations. And probably that is one of the reasons why we are facing, we are leading such stressful lives now. So, Let's Talk is creating safe spaces through shared conversations to help people connect, reflect, and grow together. One announcement: we are going to be organizing the third edition of the Kala Literature Festival in association with the Civil Services Officers Institute, CSOI, at Vinay Marg, New Delhi on 7th and 8th February 2026. Those interested to partner with us during the festival in any capacity may connect with us at kalalitfest@gmail.com, KALALITFEST@gmail.com. Another announcement or just an information that we are recording this episode, and the recording would be uploaded subsequently on the Kala YouTube channel at Sanjay Chandra 5376. Now to the show. Our episodes are moderated by Vardhan Dharkar. Vardhan, Namaste Vardhan. Vardhan worked in the corporate sector for a very long time, and then he decided to quit to pursue his creative passions. And I am really happy that one of his creative passions is to feature on the show. So that's how we got a wonderful, very warm moderator with us. So that's Vardhan Dharkar for you.
Thank you.
Now to the guest of the evening. That is Colonel Retired Madhur Goyal, Sena Medal for you. Let me introduce Colonel Madhur Goyal in a few quick words. So we are privileged to feature Colonel Retired Madhur Goyal, honored with Sena Medal for his gallantry. He is a decorated veteran whose identity shifted dramatically in 2021, not because of a military milestone, but because he stepped into the world as an author for the first time. From his heartfelt memoir, Wayfare of a Soldier, born out of discipline and doubt, to his bold and urgent new work, The Smoking Hookahs, Colonel Goyal's journey reflects the emotional terrain soldiers navigate long after the uniform is folded away. His story is not just a soldier's journey, but a nation's mirror. So sit back, enjoy, relax, and enjoy the show presented by Kala in association with Let's Talk, featuring Madhur Goyal in conversation with Vardhan Dharkar. Over to you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Sanjay, for your warm introduction. And namaste to all our viewers in Bharat and outside of Bharat. Welcome to yet another episode of The Show. And today, indeed, we are privileged to have Colonel Madhur Goyal, SM, on the show. I hope I pronounced it correctly, Colonel.
Yeah, very, very rightly. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And it's indeed our privilege. Welcome to the show. And Can we begin our conversation?
Certainly, sir, certainly.
Thank you. So my first question to you is that your transformation from being an army man all your life to the civilian life, how easy, how difficult it was, what are the challenges that you faced, or it was a smooth sailing?
That's a very nice question, which every army officer faces on the verge of retirement or superannuation towards getting into a civil street. See, retirement is not so simple. It is not like going into a swimming pool, just diving from a diving board and get into the water from army to civil. It takes time. It takes time, and it also depends on the perception of an individual, how the officer has thought about himself earlier, how he has been preparing himself. So it's a process, it's a surreal process uh, which navigates him into a civil life. It's not difficult also, but it takes time.
Okay. Is there anything that needs to be done to smoothen that process?
Say again?
Is there anything that society or government can do to smoothen that process of transition from army life to a civilian life?
No, not really. It's not a very big change as one
Mm.
actually thinks about it. And we don't need, until unless the army personnel who has retired is again trying to re-attire himself into any
Mm.
corporate sector or into any public sector undertaking. You know,
Mm.
then yes, government can help him out by having some places earmarked.
Mm.
Otherwise, if you are just re-attiring yourself uh,
Mm.
at home and trying to do something at your own, it doesn't really require much.
Okay. Okay. One question that has always come in my mind is about how army and armed forces are depicted in Hindi movies. Do you think that's a realistic depiction, or it is something which needs to be corrected?
Yes, we have been watching those movies number of times, and every time we watch that movie, rather than finding it to be very interesting, we generally find it to be more of a comic. Uh,
Mhm.
uh, an army jawan or an army officer being shown with long hair, with he's wearing those peacetime medals during war, uh, holding a gun in an improper way. Uh,
Mm.
those are the things which, from the movie point of view, I would say the director needs to uh, take assistance from some army people while making that movie. That is very
Mm.
important.
Okay. Okay. I think that is something which I agree with you is that when you are making a movie, it needs to show a correct depiction of that particular profession, whether it is army or even, let's say, doctor, for example. It must
Yeah,
show that correct.
exactly, wearing medals on a wrong side, uh,
Mm.
wearing a badge of infantry, uh,
Mm.
but working in a logistic firm. You know, those are the things which do not connect properly.
Yeah, I agree with you. Now, coming to your journey as an author, what motivated you to write?
See, my journey to becoming an author, again, I would say it was very challenging as well as incredibly rewarding. It all started with a simple yet profound passion for storytelling. And from the very beginning, I was not the type of kid who had his nose buried into a book, but I was
Mhm.
a keen observer.
Mm.
I always enjoyed, soaking knowledge and developing skills from the environment. I was a very pragmatic type of a person. As I loved traveling, I traveled far and wide, and army came to my help, and it helped me to fulfill my urge to create my own world of realities. I found that a lot of stories were bubbling inside me, and that actually needed to be told. So that transition of an author towards an author wasn't an overnight success story. It was a process fueled by persistence and willingness to learn the craft. I
Mhm.
spent my spare time to improve upon my writing skills.
Mhm.
Most importantly, writing consistently, even when the words didn't flow easily. After all, we are Indians. We think in Hindi
Yeah.
and then convert it into English. There
Yes.
were countless rejections along the way. Each
Mhm.
one had a temporary setback, but it only hardened my resolve. And to be very honest, during this entire process, I found that there are two very important aspects for an author to write. One is professional insight blended with basket full of anecdotes. Now, this
Mhm.
blend of professional insight and lot of anecdotes in it, it engages the readers, engages the audience,
Mhm.
and makes them understand things even better.
Mhm. Mhm.
This is very important, and that resolve I took, and the defining moment came when I decided to finish my first manuscript. I decided to finish my first manuscript, and
Mhm.
my first book, Wayfare of a Soldier.
Mhm.
It although it was a memoir. So now this book, I managed to complete it, and when it actually came into my bookshelf, uh,
Mhm.
it uh, it was a revelation by itself.
Mhm. Okay. Very
Ultimately,
interesting.
you know, and the best part is that when I became an author and I got this book in my hand, the years of thoughts, the years of thoughts and emotions, when I saw them bound in between two covers,
Mhm.
it really gives you a big high.
Yeah. Yeah.
It really gives you a big high, very intoxicating. In fact,
Mhm.
few days back, I was talking to a friend of mine. I was telling him the same thing.
Mhm.
And I said, friend, a bottle of scotch won't give you that high as your own written book in your hands.
Yeah. But probably this must have given you a more high.
Yeah, sure, sure, sure. See, one advantage I had since I had traveled far and wide, being in army and been to all those uh, very such places, I would say, which a person
Mhm.
cannot think of, a normal civilian
Mhm.
cannot think of.
Mhm.
So every movement, every morning, every evening was a big memory for me.
Mhm.
And I had a habit of, jotting down in a diary.
Mhm.
I used to write a
Mhm.
few lines, not as a writer,
Okay.
just jot down a few lines as to what I have seen, what I have thought
Mhm.
about today. And
Mhm.
subsequently, that jottings came to my help and
Mhm.
helped me in making this book.
Mhm. Okay. That's very interesting because general the perception is of army man is that of a very battle hardened person who may not be very sensitive and emotive. But you bring both the aspects to table is that you are a battle hardened army man, but you are also a sensitive author. That's something which is really a rare combination, I would say.
Yes, you can say that, but yes, in a way, I would say that every army man,
Hmm.
been to all these God-forsaken areas,
Yeah.
they have a story of their own.
Yes.
They become poets, they become writers. They may not
Hmm.
express it in writing.
Ah.
That's a different issue. Yes, that advantage I had, or I
Hmm.
took it out, or I crafted it and brought a book ahead. That was my first book.
Hmm. So being an army man and being in field all your life, to transitioning and starting to write your own book, sitting in front of computer for long hours, was that an easy process? Because somebody who is used to a very active life now sitting in front of computer and typing away for hours together can be a challenging task.
No, I told you, like Sanjay ji brought it out. It was 2021 when my book was released.
Mm.
I retired in 2017, October 2017, I retired. So I had those time available after my retirement, and especially, uh, I would say, COVID was a blessing in disguise, which came in and gave us a lot of time indoors. So
Yes.
this was I really brushed up, or my hobby got nourished during this
Mhm.
period.
Okay. So in a way, COVID has been a blessing in disguise to many people. And there are so many who have come on the show who have expressed the same view that COVID provided them the opportunity.
you We were indoors. Uh,
Yes.
we had no other option. Either watch TV,
Mm.
watch
Yes.
movies, read books. I found this better.
Yeah.
I
I think.
enjoyed writing, and I
Mm.
that's the time I was in front of the computer, just kept on typing, typing, typing. And one
Mm.
fine
Mm.
day, I saw that I have really written almost 40, 50,000 words.
Oh.
And then I thought, yes, now is the time I can publish it. I
Mm.
started sending my manuscript chapter by chapter to one odd friends or my
Mm.
daughter and my daughter's friend. You know, they started reading it, they started editing it, and then they say, yes, it's coming out very well. You
Mm.
might as well publish it now.
Okay.
So that's how it came out.
Okay. So coming to your first book, The Wayfare of a Soldier, maybe you can talk about it. What is it all about?
Wayfare of a Soldier, basically, uh, it these are my memoirs,
Mm.
right from my getting into the armed forces. That is, I joined the Indian Military Academy, Dehradun, as a gentleman cadet. So it starts from there till the time I retired and a couple of years after my retirement. So this entire period of around 34 years, uh, the memoirs have been reflected in form of a book, and it also has an autobiographical account of my personal issues also combined to it. Uh, so that's what it is, and uh, it was very important for me also. Why autobiography was long desired. It was long desired with an endeavor to record for the value of my progenies and their parentage. I wanted to leave something behind so that my children know as to
Mm.
who we are, what we
Mm.
are, and how their father has gone up and what all he did in the armed
Mm.
forces.
Mm.
So that
Mm.
is what was. And secondly, it was my first hand account of who led his men into two major places or two major operations of war, I say, from the army point of view. Furnace,
Mhm.
glacial warfare, that is
Mm.
my
Yeah.
tenure in Siachen Glacier. And the second, the counter-terrorist operations. The counter-terrorist operations, whether it was during uh, the time of the Punjab militancy in area of Amritsar, or it was uh, the terrorism in Jammu and Kashmir, the Kashmir Valley,
Mm.
or it was the Ulfa terrorism, the extremism in Tripura against the TNV militants, or the NACNs in Nagaland and
Mm.
Manipur. So
Mm.
I had a lot of experience on the counterterrorism as well as in the glacial warfare. So that also has been uh, adequately uh,
Mm. Mm.
impressed upon in this book. Most important thing that actually was brought out, there were abundant occasions when there was no reason for me to come back alive. Those were the
Uh-huh.
situations. Those were also mentioned, how it happened. So it made
Mhm.
the entire thing in a very realistic manner. Everything was available.
That's, I think, a very challenging life that you have led. And all of us actually should be thankful to you and people like you who are in the army who make sure that we live in peace.
So nice of you to say these warm words.
So, Madhurji, what I wanted to request you was that if you can read a passage from the book, that will be good for our viewers.
I'll read out a motivating paragraph wherein the day I was awarded uh, Sena Medal for Gallantry.
Yeah.
It was Army Day, the 15th of January 2004. During the investiture ceremony, a citation read out loud, and a young major stood silent in rapt attention in front of the army commander, and all silently listening. The citation read, with utter disregard to his personal safety, Major Madhur Goyal crawled through the water channel, approached towards the firing terrorists, and killed both of them in one-to-one fight. The officer displayed exemplary courage, and for this act of valor is awarded with Sena Medal for Gallantry. With his heart racing and chest filled with pride, and under thunderous applause, Major Madhur Goyal marched smartly to the army commander, who pinned the award on his olive greens on behalf of the Honorable President of India. Thereafter, Sena Medal got affixed to Major Madhur Goyal's name as a suffix for the rest of his life.
Very inspiring and motivating. And I am very sure, as you mentioned, that young children going to the school and colleges would get motivated by this. Thank you. Thank you so much.
In fact, each chapter of this book, it deals with an important career milestone. So
Okay.
that is very important.
Yes. Yes. No, I completely agree with you. Is that the way you have described it is very inspiring. Now, coming to your next book, The Smoking Chulla, the smoking hookah.
Hookahs.
Yeah, Smoking Hookahs. I wanted to know what does that, why did you choose that particular title? What is it that you wanted to convey?
Yeah, it confused a lot of people. In fact, smoking hookahs is basically a metaphor. Oh, yeah, you'll be surprised when my book got listed on Amazon, and when I opened the link, my book was, it was surrounded by all the books of hookahs,
Yeah.
cigarettes, cigarette smoking, hookah lounge, as if, there was so much smoke around my
Yeah.
book. It contaminated my book completely. It was
Uh,
misread. So I just want to clarify this, that smoking hookah has nothing to do with actual smoking. And I put a big disclaimer also that smoking hookah is injurious to health. That's the first page on my book, that what I have done
okay.
is. And
Okay. Okay.
so now, since you have asked me this question, see, my first book, Wayfare, this was the journey of a soldier. Second book, The Smoking Hookahs, it is the restlessness of a veteran. The first
Mhm.
book depicted the hardships, perseverance of a soldier, whereas the second book, Smoking Hookahs, it shows the concern, anguish of a veteran. The first book, it shows the personal transformation of a soldier, while this second book, Smoking Hookahs, it's a collective introspection of veterans. The first book narrated the experiences from the life in uniform and transition into writing. But now, as a veteran, the soldier's journey got transformed into a story where now I seek to reveal the lesser discussed side of a soldier's life after service, where concern and wrath emerges. It emerges as national security concerns rise, while veterans feel neglected. This is a very important aspect of this book, The Smoking Hookahs. And if you permit me to say a little bit more about it, or you want to ask me further
No, please
questions.
go ahead. Please go ahead.
So now, uh, this this book, Smoking Hookahs, it it's a humble attempt, basically. It's a humble attempt to voice, presenting the voice of our veterans, which traverses through the flashback of the first war of Kashmir. I am talking in the book right from post independence, Although
Mhm.
we had British Indian Army, erstwhile British Indian Army, from where the two armies got defined separately, the Pakistan Army and the Indian Army. So, post independence, it was 15th January 1948 when Indian Army actually came into being, and that is why 15th January is celebrated as the Army Day. So, uh, from post independence, we moved to the 1947-48 aggressions. The Indian Army immediately came into being, and it assisted uh, by uh, hitting back or kicking back the raiders, the Jammu Kashmir raiders, back to the POK. Subsequently, uh, the uh, situation changed. What happened was, uh, in the 1950s, uh, there was seen a degradation in the armed forces. We had a large army of around 4 lakhs. It was reduced to 2 lakhs. Maybe because that time the government had different ideas. They had uh, the plans of progress. We were a new country, new independent country. Our plans were to progress further. We had ideas of Panchsheel in our mind, making good tie-ups with the Chinese. And because of that, we needed a lot of money. And funding the army at that point of time was not very important as per the government. So the strength of the army was reduced, and subsequently the degradation came. The commander in chief, who was the whole and soul boss of the three services, was also degraded, and the three chiefs came into being. Whereas we had the separate army chief, a separate naval chief, and a separate air force chief. Now, when the army chief saw, he felt that the Chinese in the garb of Panchsheel Accord were trying to play around with the uh, sensitive areas or disputed areas on the Chinese border. He went and spoke to the Prime Minister, Pandit Nehruji. But Pandit Nehruji was not so happy about it. He said, please don't talk to me on all these issues. You look after Kashmir, you look after Pakistan. Let me look after China. And subsequently, it hit back. In 1962, the Pitter policies of the government and the biased uh, attitude towards the armed forces, uh, it was uh, a big setback. So that is how it all started. And this is a part what smoking hookahs talk about.
Okay. Okay.
Subsequently, this way we kept on moving ahead,
Mhm.
progressing ahead. And 1965, uh, we had a stalemate, and the first time the Air Force also was utilized, and uh, the government felt that yes, we need to look after the armed forces. 1971 came. That war was a glory for us.
Mhm.
We liberated Bangladesh from the hand of Pakistan, and we had around 93,000 prisoners of war. Uh, but subsequently, after 1971, what happened? Again, there was a setback. The pensions of all the uh, veterans, that was reduced. The salaries were reduced. The pension was cut. So that was the price we got. And the gains we had during the 1965 war, 1971 war, everything was lost. So this is how we kept moving ahead. Army kept moving ahead, kept progressing. But the old issues, all those anomalies,
Mhm.
they kept on piling up, kept on piling up. It was
Mhm.
something like we were trying to fight a tomorrow's war with yesterday's technology and today's budget.
Okay.
So this is what is the crux. And
Mm.
subsequently, the persistent issues such as pension, pay anomalies, denial of
Mm.
non-functional upgradation, OROP issues, the
Mm.
bureaucratic hurdles, and political neutrality also
Mm.
is all brought out in this book. The book
Okay.
also critiques inadequate budget allocation. Now
Oh,
imagine from the budget point of view, if I say we talk so much about our GDP, that we are the fourth largest economy in the world today. But imagine the defense budget is less than 2% of the entire GDP. Whereas all the other nations, even the nations which are not affected by war, they have a defense budget which is over 2%, between 2 to 3%.
okay. Okay.
So these are the constraints which
Mm.
have been
Mm.
brought out in this book.
Okay.
There's been a resistance to change in the armed forces,
Mm.
and I've also tried to raise a few fundamental questions on national security.
Okay. Okay. That's very interesting. In a way, if I have to say, is this is a book which is a continuation of your first book. It takes off from where maybe first book stopped and now it's progressed and it's addressing the larger issues.
No, not really. Those were my experiences. Now these are the issues of veterans.
Yeah.
Now I
Yeah.
am talking as a veteran.
Yeah.
Now, when I have seen my 34 years past, and I've seen all those anomalies, all those issues which have come up, which
Mm.
have actually pinpricked me or the
Mm.
other veterans today. So
Okay.
have those been those remedial
Mm.
measures have been done or not?
Mm.
Those are the things which actually trouble us.
Okay. Okay. So, what has been the feedback? What has been the response to your both the books, more particularly the second book? And I would like to know the response which has come from the policymakers or those who are in the active service today and those who are like you retired.
See, firstly, let me say that this book, I am not trying to vilify the policymakers,
Yeah.
or neither I am trying to glorify my own organization uncritically. It is basically just a mirror
Yes.
reflecting the issues which needs to be addressed. See, you are an Indian, I am an Indian, we all want India to be strong.
Yeah.
And we cannot make India strong by staying biased. We have to address all issues.
Yeah.
And in this emerging world with emerging technologies, it is very important. It is very important that uh, that defense preparedness is
Yeah.
is of paramount importance.
Mm.
We have to have the uh, foreign policies aligned with the
Mm.
economic policies,
Mm.
and the armed forces hierarchy to be aligned to the foreign policy. That
Mm.
is very important, because today's emerging world is not what it was 3 decades, 4 decades back. Everything is aligned.
Mm.
It cannot
Yes.
work in isolation.
Yes.
But it's unlike what's happening in our country.
Mm. No,
There is
I'm very
no
sure
alignment.
that I'm very sure that the issues that you have raised and brought out in your book would be something which will be under consideration of everybody, those who are involved in policy making and implementation. And I'm very sure that in future, slowly and steadily, things will change for better.
Let's hope so. We all see the latest Operation Sindoor has changed the complete landscape of the Indian Army, armed forces, what people thought about armed forces, what people thought about our strength. It has totally been changed. The
So
emerging
now,
technology in our forces has boosted up our morale.
yeah, yeah. No, I agree with you completely. So we are running short of time. So maybe if I can ask you a question, is that what are your future plans in next 12 months or 24 months? What should we expect from you as an author?
See, just yesterday, this is, if you can see it clearly, uh, can you see the book?
Not very clearly. If you hold it in front of you, it will be clear.
Uh,
No. Yeah, Suramadhur Sankalan.
Sur Madhur Sankalan. So this book is basically a tribute to my dad, late dad.
Okay.
This book is a book of poems which
Hmm.
constitute 21 poems of my dad and
Okay.
44 poems of mine. So
Okay.
tomorrow is my dad's birthday. So
Uh-huh.
yesterday only this book was published,
Hmm.
and it has been listed on Amazon today. And
Okay.
tomorrow I'm going to release it. So this is
Fantastic.
this. Thank you.
Congratulations.
This is my third book, and
Okay.
the fourth book, which is also complete, which I'm holding on for a while. I want to release it sometimes in early 2026. That is Kasmira, Kasmira. Kasmira is a
Okay.
Sanskrit word for Kashmir.
Okay.
So that book is, you can say, it's everything under the sun about Kashmir and the
Okay.
erstwhile Kashmir, the entire Kashmir zone, which includes POK, Saksham Valley of China, the Aksai Chin, Siachen, the present Kashmir Valley, and all its geographical, historical contents,
Hmm.
right from first millennium, all the dynasties,
Oh,
and
okay.
all the wars that has been fought for Kashmir and in Kashmir and around Kashmir. Thereafter, what India wants, what Pakistan wants, what China wants, and what a Kashmiri wants.
Okay.
Everything is there. So it's a vast subject which has been compiled into a book. This book is one of its kind, uh, which is yet to be found out. You have a lot of books on Kashmir, but they
Yes.
focus on specific issues. This book
Hmm.
is like a thesaurus for the entire Kashmir. And I'm very happy to say that one of the ex-vice chief has written the foreword for this book. Right from his company commander days till the time he was a corps commander, right from his captain days till the rank of a lieutenant general, he has commanded a company, a battalion, a brigade, a division, and a corps in Kashmir.
Okay.
So he's a man who knows Kashmir like the back of my hand. Even I have served in Kashmir in 4 tenures, right?
Okay.
Siachen, Ladakh, and South Kashmir and the Central Kashmir. So even
Okay.
I have a fair idea about the entire zone. So
Hmm.
that's why I thought virtually, as I said, that I'm a very practical person, and I want to make reality in whatever
Hmm.
my written expression is.
Hmm.
So the first book, Wayfare of a Soldier, was my experiences. The second, Smoking Hookahs, was a story or the thoughts of a veteran now. And the third is Kashmir, the actual battlefield where I
Okay.
spent my maximum tenure. So
Okay.
all those things have come up. And
I think.
subsequently, I also plan to change my thoughts from this serious area to something more amusing, and
Okay.
write some uh, you know something humorous. So
Okay. Okay.
that is also going to come up very soon next year.
Fantastic. I think that will be really interesting. And I'm very sure the third book that you are talking about, uh, policymakers as well as the active servicemen will be very interested and keen to read about it because that is something which will give them a complete perspective. So, Sanjay, do we have time for rapid fire or we have run out of time?
Uh, I think, okay, quick round.
Yeah, yeah, I definitely would love to have a quick fire with him. Being an army man,
Sure,
you rarely get an opportunity. He
sure,
has
please
been
go ahead.
shooting all his life with guns. Now we will shoot our questions.
Right.
Okay,
So, Madhurji, we have a rapid fire round, and unlike you who shoot the bullets, we shoot the questions.
okay, please
Okay.
go ahead.
Go ahead. So, army life or civilian life? What do you like or love?
Army life, no doubt.
Army life. One thing you don't like about army life.
Separation from the family.
One thing you like about the civilian life.
Always close to my family.
India in 2047 will be 100 years of independence.
We will be on the top, globally top, no doubt in it, from the economical point of view, from the military point of view, and whatever you may think of, we will be
Okay,
on top, no doubt.
perfect. The last question. One change that will bring, you will change in army.
That I can change an army.
Hmm.
Well, at this point of time, I don't have any powers that I can change an army. But yes, my thoughts I can convey to my hierarchy, to the top bosses sitting in the corridors of power. That these are the issues which need to be addressed. And if you do it, uh, we'll all be very happy. The veterans are as important as as the serving soldiers. In fact, war may end, the guns may get silent, but a soldier never uh, moves his boots out. He's
Yes.
always ready with his second innings as a veteran.
Yes. Yes. So fantastic. That was great. And you have won the rapid fire round with 10 out of 10. Now, let me quickly hand over the proceedings to Sanjay.
I'll take just 1 minute if you can give me. I just
Yep.
want to read out, because this smoking hookahs I have dedicated to the veterans, military veterans. So I've written a small poem. I just want to read
Uh-huh.
out.
Yes,
In
please.
fields, in fields once green with youthful dreams, they heard the call of duty streams. From carefree days to battle cry, they stood with courage, hearts held high. They gave not just their blood and might, but moments lost to endless night, laughter missed, love left behind, home a shadow in the mind. Yet steadfast, stood through trials deep. Their watch was long, they did not sleep, for not just land did they defend, but ideals that through time transcend. Veteran soul, both scarred and true, bear the nation's dreams anew. Thank you.
Thank you. Very touching and very inspiring. Thank you. Thank you so much for coming on the show. Now, let me hand over the proceedings to Sanjay. Sanjay?
Okay, so very quickly, we have a very old friend of Colonel's from a very faraway land. I mean, they became friends in a very faraway land, not Sat Samundar Par, but yeah, still a few Samundar Par. So, would you like to unmute yourself and switch on your video?
Of course. Good evening. So
And so
I was
that
very much
is.
there and very much clued in, right? And very proud to hear what Colonel Madhur Goyal was saying.
Hi, Pankaj.
So that is Pankaj
Hi, how are you doing?
Sachdeva and Madhur Goyal. And so, Pankaj, would you like to ask Madhur something?
I heard sir asking a rapid fire question, right? So I will ask a very simple rapid fire question: Frederick Forsyth or Chetan Bhagat for the next set of novels,
That's interesting.
or both? Let me just put it.
Yeah, I'll go for both.
Since you were planning to change genre, like you mentioned, na, saying ki for the next couple of novels you want to write something humorous,
Yes, I
right?
want to
So that
write
is
something
when the
humorous. In fact, I have started writing a lot of humorous articles, and what I wanted to do is I want to make a combined book with around 20 of these articles as a separate
nice.
story. Every chapter reads a separate story. That is what. In fact, one point I forgot. Sanjay ji, you have been very important for me. If I recall, when I wrote my first book, Wayfare of a Soldier, that is the time I spoke to you, and you read my book also. Although I had got all 5-star the reviews in my Amazon and Goodreads. But one fine day, I saw this, this that you were the only one who gave me a 3-star review in Goodreads. So and you had written in that it's an interesting read and blah 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 everything, but the book could have been made more interesting by including more anecdotes of army life. I wonder what more anecdotes you want from army life. Every chapter was full of anecdotes, but anyway, that made
But
my
but
resolve
let me
even
come in here.
stronger.
Madhurji, let me just come in here that if you have got a 3 out of 5 from Sanjay Ji, no, it's like getting Oscar.
Yeah, now I
Right. So,
realize
because,
he's a strict man. That's why I was very
so,
happy coming on his
so
show.
you got the highest award you can ever think of. Even if you're Bharat Ratna, right? So if you got 3 out of 5, you got a very good score.
So thank you very
So
much.
he's one of the most inspiring person for me, who made me go for the second book. And you should read my second book now and thereafter review it. I'm
Okay,
sure you
sure.
will
I'll do
increase
that.
your
Yeah,
number of stars.
I'll do that. I'll do that. Yeah. So thank you,
So let me
Pankaj.
just conclude.
Yeah.
Just let me just conclude by saying that since Madhurji was mentioning about compiling his articles, one of the more recent articles I've had the privilege of reading over the weekend, like across yesterday and today, which he had shared with me, right? But I must share saying it came in with deep insight, deep insight on a topic that otherwise I kind of work in.
Okay.
This is about economics and GDP and what's a misnomer in terms of thing. I'm sure in the fullness of time he will also share those details with you, right? But it was
Right.
very nice in terms of depth.
Yeah, in fact, even Vardhanji is an economist. And when I was talking about the budget issue, that time I wanted to actually say that really, if the defense budget is less than 2% in such a vast country, then I would really say that the uh, calculation of GDP, the way we calculate GDP, it's a misnomer. I don't agree to it. It's a misnomer.
So,
No,
okay.
I think the difference that you draw out between GDP and prosperity also kind of makes you think about it. It's a different issue if someone will agree or disagree. I'm not getting into that debate at all, but it will definitely compel you to think about it. This is the point. It's an insight that kind of awakens you towards this aspect.
So I think that is for another day,
Yep,
another time.
absolutely.
I think so. So I think thank you, Pankaj. Thank you for joining us, and thank you, Purisan,
Thank you
for
so much.
joining us.
Thank you for having me here.
Yeah. And so with that, that was Colonel retired Madhur Goyal. His story is not just a soldier's journey, but a nation's mirror. And it was a very insightful conversation that we had. Thank you so very much for joining us, Colonel. Uh, and that's it for today's episode of the show, brought to you by Kala with our partners. Let's talk. If you missed any part of it, it will be available. We will upload the recording on the Kala's YouTube channel at Sanjay Chandra 5376 later. You can subscribe to the channel and you can also share your reviews or views there. And lastly, but very importantly, do read Madhur's books and share your thoughts. Uh, and with that, we come to the end. See you next time. Till then, take care and enjoy the rest of your evening. Thank you all very much.
Thank
Namaste.
you. Thank
Thank
you.
Thank
you
you.
and
Thank you.
Namaste.
Good evening.
and Jai
Thank
Hind.
you.